Taxi driver. I don't know if I want to play a game today. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. We're not friends anymore. I know it's quiet. You 0 people that are watching. All right. Do my throat's a little
talk about female orgasm and whether it's important.
Hilarious.
Like, should men prioritize that? This is where the debate comes in. 2 segments on this. We're going to start with number
hilarious.
4. Fresh and Fit. Let's play that one, and then we're going to get to Sneeko, who's hilarious.
No. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like good sex is not enough to women, man. Like, women aren't like physical. Like, men will tolerate a lot of bullshit to get sex. Women aren't necessarily going to tolerate bullshit to get good sex from a guy. Like, maybe to a degree, but it's never going to compensate to the same level that it would for a man. So why are you going to do all this extra shit when it's not really, like I said, you're stepping over dollars to pick up quarters. Like, focus on the most important thing. Being an attractive mate is what I say.
My thing with the orgasm is, like, she got to be ready to nut by the time she pull up.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she got to be
God.
ready to nut. Like,
What a take.
Just the thought of you. Like, I got some women who tell me, like, they watch me on YouTube and they masturbate
There's
to me on my YouTube video.
Pause this 1 sec. I want to get to I think you're in the wrong part. Are you in, I want to go to 117.52. Do you see that? Is that where you are? Really? I must have the time code wrong. Okay, there's a point here. Look at me, blaming Tyler when it's actually my fault. There's a point in here. We can get it in the Sneeko thing. It's kind of repetitive, but there's a point in here where Myron says it's extra credit. Essentially, is what he says. He says that a woman's orgasm, if you can get a woman to have an orgasm, that's extra credit, because what really matters is your financial stability, your ability to pay the bills, whatnot. And it a little bit ensues back and forth, which we'll get to in the Sneeko segment. But let me just say that. Let me address that for a point. And really, that's the only point that we needed to hear is extra credit. It's not extra credit. Okay, it's very, very valuable to women to get to that
Hey, it's
point
my
of satisfaction
only day off,
with
bro.
a man. Very,
I'm
very
working
valuable. And the
every
reason
other day.
is
Oh,
that
fuck.
if a woman is able to achieve an orgasm with a guy, I will tell you straight up, it's much more bonding experience. It's much more connected. You talk about those soul ties and all that stuff that happens, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's fantasy." Not so much. It does happen a lot.
Not
It
if you
happens
nut.
when that bond is formed. Also, truthfully,
I love that. She's like, what women call a bond, men call nutting. Fuck! I did it. I did the stupid. Dude, I actually am so mad right now.
if a woman has a hard time getting to that point with a guy, it will be a problem. Ultimately, she will prioritize that in some way. Remember, guys and girls look at sex differently. We both really care about sex, but the women really care about the intimacy component of it, the intimacy. And what is really more intimate than anything is being able to achieve that maximum point of pleasure while your man is achieving that maximum point of pleasure. So it is very important. And guys should care about that, right? And by the way, they do care about it. We're going to get to the Sneeko segment because I had the wrong time code on the other one. So let's do the Sneeko segment. Let's go to 2140. That was my bad, Tyler.
You know Sneeko's take's going to be even funnier.
I understand, but
yeah, but in terms of like,
but sex isn't a man's duty. That's a woman's duty.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
But y'all, okay, well, not. Well,
Okay,
yeah,
let's be honest. Okay, answer this question.
Mhm.
What's the main reason men deal with women?
to have sex.
Fantastic. What's the main reason that women deal with men?
To get money.
Money.
Okay, security, right?
Mm-hmm.
So-
Well, money.
I mean, you can look.
Okay, yeah.
You can say money, but it's a little bit deeper than that. It's
Yeah,
security,
right,
long-term
right.
security. Because if you just get money, that's great to a point. But at some point, you want a boyfriend, you want a title,
Right.
you want a relationship, a
Companion.
family. You giving that face now because you're still young, but like as you get older, trust me, you're gonna start to value security. But that's fine. Money is a component of that. The point I'm trying to make is that a man's primary agency is his success. A woman's primary agency is sex.
Mhm.
So my thing is, it's not a man's duty to give you sex. It's your duty to give him sex.
Okay.
I actually,
There's
I disagree,
I
man.
disagree, bro. I disagree.
Well,
I think
hold on.
both sides.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Hold on. I'm not saying. Listen, guys. I'm not saying that you shouldn't give her sex. I'm saying that it's not your primary responsibility. Like it's hers. Think about it. You're dealing with her primarily for her beauty and sexuality. She's dealing with you primarily for what you provide, and then sex could be a component for that. But sex isn't as high on the totem pole for women when they deal with men as it is for us. That's all I'm saying. Like we bring different things and we prioritize different things. You prioritize sex at the top of your thing. Girls don't look at a guy and be like, I mean, unless you're very, very attractive, but for the most part, they look at what you provide outside of sex because they can get laid anywhere.
Thanks.
If you don't please her and make her come, bro,
Yeah.
she
She's
could
gonna
probably go
look for-
somewhere else.
She's gonna
Right.
cheat.
That's
Like,
what
like,
I
okay.
somewhere else.
I get what you're saying because from a logical standpoint, that's what they really think about. But
Women are in charge of sex. Men are in charge of relationships.
per se, like actual feelings, if
Yup.
you don't make her bust, if you can't make her come, it's like, bro. Like,
Yeah, but my point is that it's not your predominant duty. That's her predominant duty of sex. Yours is to provide other things.
It's still a duty, though.
It's a duty, but it's not the predominant one.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like that's
So here's the problem with this conversation, and this is
Myron
probably
is just Myron just has a revolving door of unsatisfied women coming out of his fucking apartment. Whatever. She's like, I didn't come. That's not my job. Look how nice the house is, bitch. I don't have to make you come.
a clash that I would have with Myron sometimes, which is that with respect, he is
Oh,
a
I
very
got
analytical
first.
guy.
Baby.
Which I admire, frankly. He's very logical. He's very analytical, which I think in many areas of life is probably extraordinarily helpful. Probably why his business is booming and he's been so successful. The challenge with relationships sometimes I find is that if you don't take that analytical mind back just a tiny bit and see what the impact of some of the feelings on these things and what actually
Set your
happens,
feelings,
I think
Myron.
you miss a point. For example, if you make a conversation about sex and orgasm about duty, exclusively about duty, you're going to miss a lot. Because even though a marriage is a contract, even though a relationship is a contract, there's a lot more to it than that. So if a woman, for example, begins to see sex as a duty, if she begins to think that you see her having sex with you as a duty, her whole machine is off, right? It's off. It has been turned off because that's not appealing to us. What we're really there for, and don't underestimate, by the way, the fact that women do prioritize sex, but not in the way that men do. Think about it differently. Men prioritize the physical component of sex. Women prioritize the intimacy component of sex. It's equally important. It's a different angle of the same animal. The same animal. So if you take that intimacy away and knock it down a peg by referring to it as a duty or making women feel like it's a duty for them, you're cutting the intimacy out, you're ruining the experience. They're going to begin to resent it. They're going to begin to not want to do it. It's going to create a whole odd power dynamic in that relationship that you probably won't like because ultimately it won't benefit you, right? It won't benefit you if you're a guy and you want to have sex more often. It's not going to benefit you if the woman is turned off to the act. Also, let's be real. When you engage in a relationship, men and women are different. We acknowledge that. Men and women want different things. Men and women need different things. However, the goal should be in a good relationship that women should want to please men and men should want to please women. You want a happy partner.
Wrong.
You want to be a reason why that smile is on their face in some part, right? You certainly don't want to make them feel bad if you're in a happy, healthy relationship. So a guy shouldn't look at it like that, like it's her duty. It should be, I'm here and I want her to get the most out of this experience and I want to get the most out of this experience. And end goal for everyone is that the sex happens and everyone has an amazing time, right? And in order for everyone to have an amazing time, the mindset behind it has to be that you want it to look that way, that other person's happiness experience matters to you. Guys do care about this. Myron says later in the clip, let's actually continue it. I think he goes on to say that guys don't care about it. Let's get to that part.
Is to please you sexually all the time. Like, you don't have to please her sexually all the time, but she definitely got to please you sexually all the time is my point. It's for you, it's elective. Like, I've always said it this way, put it this way, right? Most girls want to be with a guy that can take care of them if needed and they can work electively, correct? Mm-hmm. Most women typically don't want to work if they have a guy, right? They would prefer not to work and they work electively. They work when they feel like it, have a side hustle, work from home, etc. That's how I look at men and sex with their girl. You electively decide if you want to make her come or you want to bang her, but it's mandatory when you want to smash. Just like you are expected to provide for her from a mandatory standpoint.
Okay, let's pause it there.
Does that make sense?
No. So that's not going to work. This is bad advice. I would not recommend that guys take this advice.
Oh shit!
It's not elective because
You ever spent the whole day just
you're both
fucking
in a
yourself
union
to
together,
your
right?
life.
You understand. In order to have, you're going to have an unhappy partner.
Dude,
If you operate based on this model.
it's a lot of work.
You're going to have an unhappy partner if you operate like, well, it's up to me if I decide I want you to feel pleasure, but you're mandated to make me feel pleasure. You can't approach it like that. You can't approach a relationship
You
like
can
that.
if you're a goddamn
You
millionaire.
shouldn't
Like,
want to. You should want, and most guys, by the way, don't look at it like this. That's why you see that reaction from Sneeko. That's why you see that reaction from Fresh, because most guys want to please their women and they wear it as a badge of honor. Like, if a guy can satisfy a woman and she leaves that experience and she's satisfied, they're like, yeah, I done good. Because it's rewarding. If you care about that person, it's a rewarding thing in the same way that if a woman goes into a situation sexually and that guy leaves and he's had an amazing experience, you're like, yeah, you feel good because you feel good about yourself. It's very self-empowering. You're like, yeah, I'm good. I got a handle on this. You feel sexy. And also because that other person feels good and you care about them and you know that you've just solidified that union by having two happy partners engage in an act.
No.
So again, this idea that women don't prioritize sex is not accurate. If you make it elective
where am I?
to make her feel good as a guy, if you make it elective and you say, well, it's her duty, but it's not really my duty, and you start looking at it like that, you are going to wreck the intimacy component of that relationship, and that's why she's there.
Cheated on.
So I will guarantee you she's going to leave. She's not going to leave because of the sex. She's going to leave because there's no intimacy. And she's going to be craving that intimacy from somebody else because she wants you, the same way she wants to make you feel good, she wants you to want to make her feel good. It has to be mutual in this way. It's a recipe for disaster, I will say. Guys, I'm being straight up with you. It is a recipe for disaster if you don't care about your woman's pleasure If
Dude,
that's
you haven't seen
not
Boogie
something that
Nights?
occurs to you, if you
Dude,
dismiss it,
You're fucking
it's going to
up.
be a recipe for disaster. She
You're
is going
fucking
to
up.
crave that intimacy from someone, and if she can't
Mark
get it from
Wahlberg
you, she's
has a
going to get it from
giant
somebody else.
prosthetic
If you
dick
want
in
to
that
watch the full
movie.
episode, you're going to click right here. And if you want to ask me a question one-on-one,
Okay, that one was funny. Was it Destiny reacts to new Sneeko content? I'll do that next. And then there's like an hour-long one, and then I'm probably gonna be done.
White lives matter?
Short stream.
White lives? It's a bit of a tricky question. No, not in
Right.
the slightest.
Yes, they're trying to censor the truth.
No.
That's a crazy
Why not?
answer.
Black Lives Matter.
I really don't give a fuck about white lives.
We're gonna get really political. I don't want to go there.
All lives matter. It's just no.
All lives matter for y'all. I'm glad that brother put that out there because he started a whole bunch of conversation.
Man, you're hard to talk to
Really, why?
because you're making me think that all my answers are wrong.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion.
Is the minute almost up?
Why'd you go, oh my God, when he said all lives matter?
Because, like, before you explained it, it was, like, kind of Republican.
Isn't it crazy that that's a political statement?
I mean, I guess it's
It's
like
deep-
if I say like no as a white.
Sneako's so annoying because he's acting like it's like surface level. There's no layers to it. There's no there's nothing to it. It's just that. It's like, yo, you're not putting it in any context. Ridiculous.
Girl, it's like, do I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Woo!
then I don't know. I don't want to talk.
But-
now.
Canceling is also like a form of hate speech. I mean, you're kind of like forcing someone to be silent because they disagree with your viewpoints. Even if their viewpoints are wrong, I think people are still entitled to them. They should
Canceling is
be
hate
able
speech.
to have like discussion without
It's a
like,
bold
being
take.
scared of getting canceled.
Because they're white?
I mean,
What's
you
wrong with that?
should be able to.
Nothing. I don't like white people.
Why not?
I just don't.
For no reason?
Yeah, for no reason.
Bit of a tricky question, to be honest, because I
But-
saw
but-
the fuss around
Little
Kanye
fucked up, but
West's White Lives Matter, and I absolutely didn't agree with the way he was provoking. So I would say Black Lives Matter,
How do you think he was provoking?
because as a black man, it was a bit odd. It was weird to do that.
Why is it odd?
Because it
As Charles
was
Charlemagne
not-
always
it
says,
was
Kanye wants that white
expect- was
validation.
not really political correct.
I like what Kanye West's dad said. He said it was really funny because it was a black man stating the obvious. White lives matter. There's no reason to get upset about it. It's funny that it's politically incorrect to say that your life matters.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Do you think he's crazy?
I think it's quite crazy, yeah.
Is Ye crazy?
Who?
Kanye.
I love Kanye.
Oh my god.
Sold a shirt that said White
That girl's
Lives
been
Matter.
locked in a closet for
Oh,
a
fuck
month.
Kanye.
She has no idea. Literally.
Is he crazy?
She has no idea what the
He's
fuck's
crazy,
going on,
crazy.
bro.
What's
This is her
what?
third day out
He's
here.
crazy.
What has he done that makes you think that he's crazy?
Come on.
He's just crazy.
Come on.
For no reason?
Yeah, for no reason.
First place.
Can you define what crazy is?
Kanye.
He's the definition of crazy?
Yep.
Do you think that Kanye West is crazy?
I think he's a very unstable man.
Yeah.
I think he should.
I
get
think
some good
he's more of
therapy.
an asshole than
Yeah.
crazy, to be honest.
Do you think that Kanye West is crazy?
Absolutely.
Why?
Have you seen the news recently?
Yeah.
He's absolutely crazy. No one should be saying that kind of stuff.
What did he say?
All of the anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's enough.
Nobody should be
no
saying,
one should
"I'm
be
gonna go
saying
DEF
that,
CON
and
3
I
on Jewish
absolutely do
people."
Not support him. If you support him and have downloaded any of his albums recently,
She's
not a
just
friend
being
anymore.
ridiculous.
What's one thing you would say to Ye right now?
That's a fat line. She said, "Bye."
What's one thing you would say to Ye if he was watching this?
Get better friend.
I don't know. Fuck you.
That anti-Semitism
It's
is
not
not
cool.
cool.
Mazel tov, Kanye. I'm fucking up all your best deals.
Calm down. Like drink some tea.
And get back on your fucking medication, kid.
Meditate.
I love you.
I mean,
I
he
appreciate
definitely
you,
should get back on his
and
meds.
I wish you well, bro.
I like your songs, not you.
See,
Try
that's
to use your platform
that's
to
not bad. I kind of
bring
am in
people
that
together
ballpark.
instead of driving them apart.
You're so widely respected for your art. Trashing that is just really disappointing, I think.
You said what?
I watch it every day.
Who?
Sneak off or something.
Nah, I don't know that guy.
Yeah, it has to be him.
That guy's an asshole. He deserved to get banned.
He did get banned. He did get banned. Dickhead, he'd be talking out his ass.
that guy actually doesn't
What do
think
you
he's
stream
talking
now,
sneaking.
or like what platform do you use? NYPD got a website I could use?
He's talking to cops?
Tell me.
Wait,
Y'all think Kanye West
is
is
the
crazy?
cop a fan?
Can we even answer? You tell me. Y'all think Kanye West is crazy?
Dude, the cops are fans of Sneeko.
You think Kanye West is crazy?
Like, I think he goes by Yee now, right?
Yay.
Yee. Haha, yee. Yee, boys.
I say that
Get it,
sometimes.
man. Come on,
Fuck!
what's going on?
Did you vote for him?
I don't know what to do about it, Nicky D. Frames are just gonna drop now. I don't know what the fuck is happening, bro.
Thank you, officers.
I can't
You think that
drop
he's crazy?
anything. It's
A
just what it
little
is
bit,
now.
maybe. I'm not familiar with him, so.
So from an artillery turret could hit way out there from here. Do you think?
Just dropping frames still by a PC, bro. It's ridiculous.
If you're not that familiar, why do you think he's crazy?
It makes me so mad.
Because sometimes I will look at the news and just get information from the news.
Should we believe everything we see in the news?
Yeah.
I think the only thing I can do is trust news because I have no other information comes from other anywhere else. So the only thing I can do is just trust.
Good question.
Actually, correct answer.
Because he's my friend. And I don't know, he's going a little bit crazy on his words.
He said Kanye's his friend?
Yes.
How do you know him?
For 3 days.
Fuck!
Constantly 3 days. Anywhere in Massachusetts.
Dude, I was so close to
Artillery on
third.
train. I don't know how any of the artillery on train shit works. I don't know that.
Actually,
how
he
far that
talked
shit.
about good things at the
damn,
time.
bro.
But I don't know what's happened to him now.
I know what
Why
might
he
help.
changed.
What's one thing that you could tell him if Ye was listening?
If he's listening to me right now, he knows. He told me he wants to build America like Israel, one for all for one, like kibbutz.
Oh my
If you remember that, remember it. I'm Toby. He knows who I am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
They blow up bugs.
Well, everybody got
Yeah, but they still need like
I
manual
see.
ammo.
I just
shipping
plugged in
for
the
them, right?
Ethernet
So-
cable. I was streaming off the Wi-Fi,
It's
bro.
really everything because you do crazy
Meds
stuff
suck. I
every day
mean, depends,
without
bro.
realizing it, you know what I mean? So, who say
Kanye
what
might
crazy
have to
is?
maybe take some fucking meds, man.
Are you crazy?
Yes. I am crazy.
What makes you crazy?
Well, it made me crazy that I work a lot of hours and things like that. You know what I mean? From 9 in the
Damn
morning
it.
to 12 at night, 6 days. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Because I don't have too much time for myself.
Is that your train?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Have a nice day. He said if you're running alongside a highway in short shorts against traffic, you're crazy. If you do it with 100 people, it's a marathon.
That's a
Man,
good quote.
I don't think you're
Think
crazy.
Kanye West
if
is
you do
crazy?
that.
Of course not. He's very woke. Y'all need to tune in.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
He's never said anything that made you upset?
No,
What about when he said slavery is a choice?
that's his opinion. I can't be affected by someone else's choice of what they want to say.
You don't get affected by what other people say.
Nope, that's not my business.
Color.
Why do you think other people online get so mad about what other people say?
Because they're easily influenced by other people's, and their emotions are controlled by what they gotta say.
Look at
Think
this.
we prioritize feelings
Look at this
over facts
unprogrammed bitch right here.
Because it just stimulates your serotonin and all that dopamine anyway, just by being on social media. So it does that.
How do we fix that?
Stay off of social media, read some books.
Would you wear an All Lives Matter shirt or a White Lives Matter shirt?
Nah, fuck all that. I'm not into all that. I'm not gonna say that, what I was about to say. But
Oh, say it. Come on, be honest. I'm canceled, bro. I want to hear some honesty.
you wanna hear some honesty?
Yes.
I honestly didn't support Black Lives Matter because the money put into that program was usurped and put into other people's pockets. It didn't
That's-
benefit black people.
See, that's not even the
We all know
worst
that.
take. That's
Is
a
anything
pretty.
accomplished for Black Lives Matter?
Hell no. Just more separation.
But it's like
divide.
everything. Starts
think it
off
was one
pure,
big
like
scam?
good intentions, and then
Yes.
it just becomes about fucking.
You think Kanye West is crazy? Is Ye crazy?
Hell no, I support Ye. I love Kanye West. Yo, Kanye West, I love you. I love Kanye West. I support Kanye West. I always have all my life.
Why do you think people are calling him crazy?
I think people say he's crazy because they don't want them to hear what he's really saying, which might be influential.
Who do you think created cancel culture?
Hannibal Buress.
Big media.
Uh-oh.
Who owns big media?
It was Hannibal Buress.
Jews.
Dude, last time what I did was lower it to 30 frames per second, and that's what it's on now. So I don't understand why the fuck it's fucking dropping frames, bro. I literally don't know what else to do. I don't know what the fuck else to do. Oh, wait.
Jews and gays.
Hold on. There
Are you
actually
laughing
is
because you
one
know you
thing
said
I
something
could
offensive,
do.
or you said something that's so truthful
But I have
that
to
it could
wait
get
till after
this video deleted?
I'm gonna quit.
I laugh because it's the truth. I believe it to be the truth. I know it to be the truth. I know it to be the truth.
What is considered hate speech to you?
Herg. Nah.
Did you know who they are?
Jesus.
Guys, you're being recorded, by the way. Do you guys have a permit?
We don't need a permit to film like this. It must be on a tripod.
Well, this is in you have a table set up inside of Transit.
Damn, we just saw the bad side of cops and the worst side of cops in this video. Some of them fuck with Nico, and this guy wants to shut him down. Dude, it's already at the fucking lowest goddamn thing. Fuck, man. Yeah, there's nothing I can do, bro. I don't know why it's lagging now and it wasn't before. Yeah, now it's probably straight because I stopped the game.
I do this for like 2 years now.
Yeah, no, they just came upstairs. Transit came upstairs. They asked us to move you guys.
Okay. Do Blue Lives Matter?
Blue Lives?
I'm not going
Blue Lives? Listen,
That's funny.
I fucks with. Yes, I do.
You think that Trump deserves to be banned off of social media?
I think Trump deserves life in
Ezzy!
prison for treason or worse.
What's good?
He
Damn.
doesn't deserve anything.
Based.
No rights at all.
Oh, well.
Trump doesn't deserve any rights at all?
No more than that. I think he should be a convicted felon and have those.
Felon?
Everything else stripped of him. You don't
What
see
felonies
convicted
has he
felons sitting in
committed?
Giving you an interview.
Kanye West is a very vocal supporter of Trump. Do you think
Oh,
that
Nikki
he's
D,
crazy?
you gonna take that from Ezzy in the
I
chat, bro?
think that Kanye West should be embarrassed for himself. His anti-Semitism is disgusting, and he's a disgusting individual. Should he be banned from social media? If I ran the social media company, he would be banned.
Wow.
What's one thing you would say to Ye if he was watching this?
I wouldn't talk to the man.
Ooh.
He's a disgusting human being. There was an incident in Los Angeles today attributed to him where people were showing banners over the freeway that said Kanye's right and the Jews need to die.
Ooh. Really his fault?
Absolutely, it's his fault. He's
take responsibility for other people misinterpreting his message?
not misinterpreting. They're repeating his message.
All right, we're just gonna go for it, Nikki D. As
Misinterpretation
hopefully I
can
don't
be
drop
corrected.
frames.
But repeating his message is very clear. The message, he said that he was going to go quote, DEFCON 3 on Jews. And as a matter of fact, his followers are
Doing just that.
making anti-Semitic statements and the Jews should die kind of statement.
He's crazy because
No.
he's crazy enough to challenge himself and also crazy enough to challenge every spectrum in this world. I'm from the south side of Chicago. He's from Chicago. And when he first
He should
came
move
out,
back to Chicago.
he challenged everyone's perspective to think differently. And right now, I just feel like, yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy intelligent. He's crazy beautiful. He's crazy problematic. He's crazy in so many different ways that we can't even comprehend because we haven't
this
got
lady's
there
still
in our
on He's a
psyche yet
Genius.
to understand what the hell is going on with him.
When you reach genius level, that's when white lives start to matter. That's when you realize it.
He's both. He's everything because you're everything because I'm everything. He's just now is challenging everything and everyone's perspective, just like white lives matters and black lives matter. We're challenging where our mind is at, what words, where words have power, and if we're gonna give it power. And we gave Black Lives Matter power because it matters. And there's a huge demographic of this world for so many years that have been programmed
but this
that
lady's
white lives are
pro
more important, their
Black
money is
Lives
important,
Matter.
their values is important, their perspective on all our ecosystems is powerful. And I'm tired of that. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about me. I want to talk about people that look like us, that think like us, because for so many years, us mattering has not been appreciated.
This
has
is not the
no
wave that
value,
Kanye's
and
on
we
right
have
now,
literally been
though.
raped, and we have been taking all our resources, and it's been spread around the world that we can't even figure out who we are.
But Kanye says that's a choice.
What's one thing you would say to Ye if he was watching this?
If I was to say yay, I was like, yo, put it in the music.
Ooh!
Put it in the music.
That's
Speak it in
not
the
bad
music. We're
advice.
gonna
Say
buy
it
it.
in
We're
a
gonna feed into
song.
it because your
Literally.
power is in music. Just like power was in Mozart, power was in Beethoven, power was in, you know, in Beyonce. You need to put it in the music and just leave it there. You don't need social media. You're an artist. Let your art form seek into every person's soul like it does, and keep it there. If it's good, if it's bad, if it's politics, if it's relationship, if it's love, just put it in your music, because that's how you started and that's how you're gonna end. It's because of your music.
Who created cancel culture?
Everybody
I ate
created
shit.
social
I
media
ate
created
shit.
cancel culture, because everybody that logged.
Who created social media?
Dude, I didn't change
white man.
anything. That's the
White man's
crazy part.
idea.
I changed
But
nothing.
I'm not. I don't know the exact. I know who created it, but
I drift like a dumbass. You just watch me try to drift, bro.
you know what I mean. That's really
Play
the
some
question.
Kanye?
Who is taking it there? You know what I mean.
He needs to drop a White Lives Matter song. I'll play that right here on the stream.
Allowing to be seen. That's who created it. That's what people are afraid of.
But till
Is
then,
freedom of speech dead?
No, because there's platforms like this that make it alive.
What if I told you I'm banned on every single social media platform?
I would say you're doing your job. You're doing what you came to do. You came to challenge spaces, and those spaces are afraid of this type of conversations, and that's what we need more of.
It's not even controversy about conversation. And I think what we need to do is start to think about humanity as a whole, about whether or not we all matter. Because the way things are going right now, it seems like nobody's life matters, man. Look at the homeless population. Look at the jail population. Mental health. We're on a mental health crisis, food crisis.
the W takes.
Unemployment crisis. The world is in crisis. So the way I look at it, we need to ask, does anybody's life matter?
Do you think Kanye West is crazy?
I think the brother, as a clinical social worker, the brother needs to definitely be on medication. I think he definitely is exhibiting symptoms of bipolar disorder, and he needs to be on medication.
Love this guy.
What's one thing you could tell Ye right now if he was watching this?
Brother man, get your mental health in order, and then come back and say all the stuff you've been saying.
I wouldn't consider him crazy. I'll just say he's on another level.
What type of level?
Universal level.
The crazy level, dog.
Can you explain that a little more?
I mean, it's kind of, it might make me seem crazy, but he's just universally in tune. He knows things that we don't know.
No!
He knows things that are beyond the eyes. You know what I'm saying? You know, what you can see is what
level 5,
what you
guys.
think is what it is, but that ain't what it is. You heard? So that's the best way I could put it.
Why do you think they're trying to ban him off everything?
Because he's exposing
Fuck
everything.
me.
He's exposing the
Dude, if you get
everything,
hit
like,
one
I'm saying?
time with
He's
one
exposing
thing, bro,
everything. You
8
gotta
people
pay
passed
attention
you.
to
I
what
just
he's
went
saying,
from
that's it.
3rd to 6th.
What's one
Or
thing you would say
wherever
to
I
Ye
was.
right now if he was watching this?
Keep exposing them, homie. Don't stop. You heard?
Oh my God,
Move
bro.
it,
It's
you
always
heard?
on the
Yo,
last
this black
lap. I
man.
lose
Keep it
fucking
going.
everything,
You
bro.
think we still have freedom of speech?
Ha! We have, conceptually we do. Is that it's something that happens in practice? I don't know. You know, I think from what I see on the media, a lot of folks are talking about they're
I
being
knew it.
censored, and if they call out certain things,
Fuck, man.
they live to regret it later on. And so, you know, our freedoms are being challenged today. And the concept of freedom of speech is really being challenged, especially in this age of digital, the rapid fire of how much information is spread around, and the way people have the opportunity, have the ability to edit what they want to edit, like this. This could be.
Yeah, it
whatever-
compounds, bro. You get hit by one thing, and then it
Ooh,
makes you
sure
get hit
can.
by another thing.
You sure can.
And then you get hit by
You
another
sure
thing,
can.
and then
So
you're in
it's-
9,000th
it's
place.
in this whole thing, it's like really being careful about how we use
Fuck
social
this
media,
game, bro.
What word,
Dude,
what
Drew just told me
messaging
they
we put
have
out there.
Switch
Wow,
emulators
thanks.
that are
And also
actually
just
good, so
honoring
I'm
each
literally gonna
other's
get a Switch
humanity.
emulator.
That's the main thing, I think. We gotta start.
But I gotta build a PC,
re-honoring
bro, because I'm
humanity
gonna just play PC
and
games
stop
too.
pivoting so much on what comes
When
out
that
of
Harry
people's
Potter
mouth.
Legacy
'Cause a
game
lot of the
comes
time,
out, I'm
people
playing
say
that.
a lot of things,
I'm getting it.
and they're
when
just
it comes
talking.
out.
You know what I'm saying? They're just talking.
I believe no
I'll
one
buy a
deserves
steering
to
wheel,
get
get
banned on social
Formula-
media unless you're a rapist,
Formula One
a
racing
pedophile,
games.
or something of that nature, and that's basically your content where you promoting
Fuck!
child abuse or something like that. Like I'm saying, but I don't think that if you talking and you expressing how you feel about certain situations, they should cancel you. I'm saying, or have any input on what your content is, especially if you're not doing no rapist shit. I'm saying, or no pedophile shit. You ain't promoting no no foul shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't see why they should
Shit!
take it away from you. You heard? Or ban you or none of that. They
Base,
just know
true.
that a person has a grip to the world. People listening to you. People know what's going on with you. You can move the crowd. When they don't like when people have a certain amount of power. And for instance, your
fuck
power
does that-
be your
what
followers.
is that hard shit?
So now we shut down your followers and we shut down, you have no following. So now you just by yourself all over again.
That's where I'm at right now.
You're going to make it through it, though. You're going to be all right.
Thank you. That was a good interview, bro.
The Sneak
What would you
Lab
say to
merch,
Ye right
that's
now
what
if
he
was
needs to
watching
do
this?
is drop some
To who?
fucking merch.
Yay, if he was watching this.
I would say, be careful what you say, because they're going to take it a lot of different ways. And I say I'm behind you. That's what I would say. I would say I'm behind you.
Who do you think created cancel culture?
Ay, hijo de puta.
I don't know. Who created it? I don't know.
Who controls the media?
Dude, I do need Minecraft, but Garrett told me
Good
Minecraft
question. Ask
like
Ye.
takes a lot to
do
run,
you
so
think
I'd be
controls the
dropping
banks?
mad frames.
Ask Ye.
Till I
Thanks
get
for
a
coming on.
PC.
I've been seeing your videos. Of course, Andrew Tate, you know his mulatto ass. I've been seeing his videos.
His mulatto
Oh, look, he said it. You guys are saying they don't say that. Dude, there's like 30 different names for like mixed race people. Fuck you. There are some people that still say it.
Man, it's good stuff. It's people that, it's conversations that people aren't having, especially just men. They're not having these conversations because
didn't know it
of,
was a term.
let's
I
say,
thought that guy
cancel
just said it
culture
off
or
cuff.
like being politically correct. But yeah, at the end of the day,
No!
it's like,
Fuck! Oh, thank
what's
God.
correct
Thank
and right by
God.
people, not just groups of people. You know, in general, we're at a time where we need to all hold hands, or it's all gonna go down the drain, and we all fucked.
I just
The
ate
earth is
shit.
fucked.
I ate
How do
shit.
you think they're trying to divide us?
I've never seen the heart
Because it's easier
ever
to
in this
control
game.
people
I
that
have
aren't
never
unified.
gotten the heart.
That's why jobs don't want unions. Starbucks.
Now, I think you're
Starbucks.
trying to,
Love that
trying to
guy,
say this
actually.
is censorship, but I don't believe that's censorship.
See it as punishment.
I see it as punishment.
We're running
I'd like it
Stash
to be
when I'm
punishment.
down there, bro. I'm bringing the webcam and
I think when it's the
the mic and
ex-president,
shit. We're doing
that's
it.
a level of censorship because that's an influence.
We're making
you're
beats
thinking
on
about
stream,
him
my
as a
guy.
Man, Donald Trump as a person, but this
Making
is somebody
tracks.
who was the leader of the free world.
Well,
Exactly.
I don't believe he was the leader of the free world.
They did say that.
It's the president of the United States. Come on, dude.
Cozying up to Putin the way that he did in Helsinki, cozying up to Kim Jong-il that he did in South Korea, and that makes him, by association.
My point is that singling out and like trying to point it at his ego and saying that he's addicted to Twitter is minimizing the fact that you're seeing it just as punishment when a lot of people probably should.
Am I
hear
still
what the
dropping
ex-president
frames,
of the
dude?
United States has to say. That's what I think.
Okay, you're welcome.
Dude,
to
my
your opinion.
CPU is like not. It's
My
like
opinion
0.1%
is
punishment,
usage.
not
Like I don't
censorship.
understand why the
Opinion
fuck
is
I'm
it's,
dropping
you know,
frames.
Put him on an ice
This is
floe and set him
mulatto.
out in the sea and let him melt and let the whales eat him up. I mean,
Jesus.
this man has damaged America.
The mulatto
Trump should be sentenced to
Bahamian.
death.
Treason is punishable by death.
The Trump.
Jesus.
Oh, he's talking about Trump. I thought he was talking about Kanye for a second.
It's a little extreme, but okay.
That wouldn't be fun if they killed him, bro. You gotta. It'd be funnier if they put him in jail and, like, let people watch. You know.
I think this is.
This ad is
Fucking
15
ads,
seconds.
bro.
Just enough time for a Clorox disinfecting wipe to kill 99.9% of cold and flu viruses when used as directed. Now your family's flow can continue uninterrupted. So hurry up. You're unstoppable when you start clean.
It's like a little bit,
Oh,
I don't know, scary.
it's on autoplay. What is this?
Into it more, I realized it's actually way worse than I thought. So Rashida Love has secured commitments from 15 to 17 faculty members to require that their students participate in the day of absence / day of participation, which brings the total to 400 students.
Dude,
Even
aren't I the
without that, I don't
fucking
think that's
best
important because I think the social
goddamn
pressure is still
Mario Kart
real.
player I've ever
But now
seen?
I'm finding out that Rashida Love actually got commitments from professors to require that white students didn't go to their class, which makes it even worse.
That's my subjective reading of it, though, is what I'm saying.
I'm reading the descriptive words that's actually there. Over and over in Rashida's initial email, it's white
gonna
and
love
POC,
this debate,
POC
actually.
and white.
I was waiting
Mixed
to watch
means
this on
POC.
stream.
As you just said, not necessarily, because some mixed people look completely white. And others look like President Obama, like they're black passing.
I don't know how to... Has anybody ever in their life said President Obama was the first mixed president?
Nope.
Probably. There's billions of people in this world. I'm sure.
You are okay. You're in ultra debate bro mode. You can't concede on a single, the most obvious point in the world.
Like Kamala Harris. Okay, it's like another example of this. Like Kamala Harris has been characterized as like she's part as black, but also as like half Indian and half Asian, right?
Yeah, all people of color. Nobody's called her white.
All right. The anti-misogyny arc begins right now. Right now.
It depends on the quality of the arguments you make, but we'll see.
Okay, we'll see.
Should be fine. I trust you, okay?
Fuck! I knew it. It's over. I'm eighth
well,
place.
what's up? Do you want to introduce yourself, or how do you want
fucking over.
to? How do you want to get the ball rolling on this?
I have no clue.
Are you nervous because
Okay.
you're on stream talking to a whole bunch of people you've never been in this situation before, and like you're gonna be judged on every single word?
Making a lot of assumptions.
No, I'm saying that's all true. They're judging you right now.
That already happened though, when they saw the video.
Yeah,
No,
but-
I'm trying to get my like Word documents in order.
Jesus, you have fucking Word documents?
Well, because I have a transcript open of the whole thing.
Why?
Why would you hold me to my word? Yeah, crazy.
Okay, let's turn down the sarcasm, all right? Okay. Erudite equals 0. Send out.
Okay, let's go for it. Debate review. So, do you stand by like everything that you said in the debate?
Yeah, probably.
Really? Nothing that you want to change or amend? Anything like that?
I'm sure there's probably something I want to change or amend. Why? Do you stand by everything you said in the debate?
No, because I said some things that weren't true.
That's good. Well, in that case, I don't stand by the things that I said that weren't true. So.
Yoshikor.
So you started off because I was like, define wokeness.
I know I was hitting them earlier.
Define
bro.
this topic because it's so freaking broad. You put wokeness has gone too far because progressives are really bad at engaging other people in conversation topics. I think that there's like way too much of like an ideological orthodoxy that's like enforced around any area that progressives get their hand on. Go. That's what you said.
Yeah, I think the topic was probably too broad, but I think the broad point that I'm getting at is the idea that progressives seem to be like highly intolerant of like opposing points of views, and they'll use like whatever kind of power they have to kind of like press out or push out like other points of views in any areas that they have a lot of power over, and that's worrying to me. That's like broadly what the thing was.
When I asked you to concretely define wokeness,
I'd say like
you
progressive.
ended up using the word woke within the definition.
Well, sure.
No, you can't do that.
Well, you also said Brett Weinstein wanted to talk about race realism, which wasn't true either. So here we are. You're asking if you want to debate the guy in the video, you can go and look at the transcript and write an essay to him. But I'm here to tell you what I mean right now. It's up to you.
Damn,
So what do you think the implication was when Brett Weinstein said, let's pull up the emails?
Apparently, what he wanted to
He
talk about
said,
was
I have the emails. You want me to read it?
yeah, sure. Can you link me?
Yeah, sure.
Oh wow, I just
If
missed
there was
that.
interest in a public presentation and discussion of race through a scientific/evolutionary lens, I would be quite willing to organize such an event. It's material I've taught in my own programs and guest lectured on at Evergreen and elsewhere. You also claim that students wanted to force white people off the campus, which just isn't true.
So
And I
real
even,
quick,
like,
wait,
was like, oh, okay,
whoa. Okay, so let's do one thing at a time. So for this one, if there was an interest in a public presentation and discussion of race through a scientific/evolutionary lens, I'd be quite willing to organize such an event. It is material I have taught in my own program and guest lectured at Evergreen and elsewhere. So my understanding is that what he's talking about here actually has to do with like in-group, out-group preferences, those types of
First
things.
place,
It wasn't
baby!
race realism.
Why is that your understanding of
Yeah.
I'm going to employ a little bit of common sense here, and I'm going to say that in the bracketed part afterwards, he says, it is material I have taught in my own programs and guest lectured on at Evergreen and elsewhere. I'm going to guess that those programs and guest lectures weren't about race realism. That's just a guess, but pretty sure that's probably going to be the case.
Context of this correspondence goes beyond just the next sentence that he says, where he's claiming that he's taught the material before. It's in opposition to his disagreement with this day of absent slash day of presence that he doesn't like.
So I still think my reading is better. I doubt he's going to go and teach race realism. Like today, we're going to learn about the warrior gene. I don't think he's ever.
No.
I could be wrong, but I feel like if he
I
taught race realism, I feel like that's something I probably would have heard about in all the discourse. I don't think he's ever taught race realism before.
I know, but first he mischaracterized the event as like kind of like what you said, where like, oh, he wants to force what, like these activists, this group want to force white people off the campus, even though it wasn't mandatory and like it's voluntary if students or faculty wanted
Dude,
to
I just
participate
got
in the
hit
first
by
place.
3 motherfucking things. If this monkey
and
doesn't hop back in the goddamn car
The
right
like
now.
day of absence, it was not like a day free of white people as I had remembered it to be. It was like a lot more pulled back. It was literally just like different workshops that were held about I guess like race and maybe historical injustices of the
We're
college.
building it back.
Something
We're
like
coming
that,
back. We're coming
where
back.
One of the workshops was traditionally held off campus, and that was where like minority students typically attended that first presentation, and then for the day of presence, which would be the next day, they would like return to the campus.
Sure. So let's one at a time. So for the first thing, is your only contention going to be that they weren't actually forced and they were just asked?
Fuck, man.
I mean, I don't have a contention with that. What's wrong with that?
Well, if you're going to have contention with that, I mean, Brett agrees with you, but I don't know if that's really relevant.
No. I just said I don't have contention with it.
Oh, okay. So then in that case, there was a day where they asked white people not to go to school.
No, they explained that the nature of this program was that traditionally
What
it
am I
wasn't
doing?
even, it's not even like white people. It just
I'm
says
being so sloppy right now.
Let me see.
Oh my god, I'm being so sloppy.
It's like majority group or something like
Jesus
that.
Fuck, man.
What does that
the
mean? That sounds like white people. No?
Fuck!
But even Rashida Jones, or what's her name? No, Rashida.
They're
Rashida
so
Love
far from me anyway.
says,
God damn it.
Because of the need for a dedicated space to explore issues of diversity within each of these two perspectives, each program has been designed with a specific community building objective in mind. And because many of us are mixed and may not wholly identify ourselves with one community or the other, we invite each person to attend the program of their choice, wherever
That's great.
they feel most comfortable.
I understand that those words are being used, and I hate that I have to say this
Oh
now,
my
but I don't really trust
fucking
progressives at
God,
their words. You kind of have to see how it plays out. It's
Can't
kind of
even
like
get
how when
7.
I read
He
some of the
slid
text
by
relating
me.
to CRT, it sounds good, but then when I see like a math textbook that says that black people need to learn by running around instead of like learning from textbooks because that's white supremacy, then I see that the way it plays out is a bit different. So it might be that they had like more complicated or nuanced language in their actual like guidelines, but my understanding is that it was very clearly a suggestion that white students and professors leave campus for the day. If you want, like,
Is
we
it
could try to find more
dropping
specific
frames
language
again,
or
dude?
how things played out.
There's
but like,
nothing
here's
I
a New
can
York
do,
Times
Nikki D.
article from 2017,
There's
and
literally
the
nothing
opening
I can
statement is
do.
literally, it started with a suggestion that white students and professors leave campus for a day, a twist on a tradition of black students volunteering.
I'll do that right now. Dude. Fucking Google, why don't you know what I mean? What is it this? I don't even know the right link for it. Where the fuck? Okay. Can you keep the rhythm when the beat drops? Do I hit the... Oh, damn it. I'm pretty upset. I don't have good rhythm, bro. 879, pathetic, embarrassing.
Voluntarily doing the same. It could be that you could show me something different. Maybe this New York Times article has it wrong, but this has always been my understanding of it. I see in a New York Times article here.
I mean, you're trusting the New York Times' like editorialization and characterization of the events, and that's one way to look at it. But why not look at the emails and look directly at the correspondence and explanation of the program?
If you want to show me emails from people inside, sure. Here's a Wall Street Journal article saying the same. The school's
need a
negative notoriety
900,
dates to spring of
Wait, what do you mean emails from inside?
If you don't get a 900
I
in
said
that
this is
game,
an
you're
article from the Wall Street
trash.
Journal saying the same. In 2017, when students and staff
You
requested
said if you want to show me emails from inside.
if we want to show me emails that prove what you're saying, sure, but it can't be like a statement of
Dude,
like.
no, I sent you those.
I don't get any
The
of
correspondence
those
between
cool
Rashida Love and
ones.
Brett Weinstein.
Fuck me.
Okay, can you? Is that all the emails that you showed me? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Is it on the drive, Ez? Is the new shit on the drive?
Okay, this is 35 pages of emails. What do you want me to look at?
First ones are the ones that explain the program and have the like contentious correspondence between the two of them.
Almost fell in that pool.
And you want me to go by just
Dude,
the first email
I'm
that was
sucking
sent?
dick right now.
That's where she characterizes the day of absence and day of presence.
I'll play it after once I finish this stupid fucking
I'm
race.
trying to read this, but it's hard to understand.
What, like,
she's
where
saying.
in the email are Whites asked to leave the campus?
Well, if Whites aren't asked to leave, then why was anybody mad at Brett?
That's what we're trying to get to the bottom of. Exactly. That's the thing to me that's like really unfortunate is that like on his media tour or whatever, everybody just kind of uncritically accepted his retelling and reframing of the story and took him at his word. Like you were just saying earlier, you were hesitant to take Rashida Love just at her word, but like just moments earlier, you had been doing just that with Brett.
Well, no, I was doing with Brett and the reaction to Brett being there. If there was no problem with Brett being on campus, then I don't know.
Like you were being more charitable.
Hold on one second. I have wait. Hold on.
Gotten outputted by my superior.
Okay, sorry, fucking retard dono. Okay, hold on. Let me. If we're reading emails, then give me a moment to actually read.
Yeah. Show them on screen.
As I go through, there's 35 pages here, but I'm like reading through paragraphs. Personally, I think the role reversal of this year's date of DOA, date of absence, is brilliant, and that it encourages.
Which one do I play, bro? The Trump one. Recents. Nikki D, what do you think of this? I don't even remember what I played. voice. I don't think I've heard this one. This is an old beat.
And I didn't even hit the blunt yet.
I got this feeling. She so bad and she tripping, she appealing. She broke my heart for no motherfucking reason. That girl is crazy and she feeling like a demon. Like a demon, choking on my semen. You broke up with me for no reason. I call that treason. I can't believe you did this to me for no reason. Girl, you a demon, and now you fiending, and now you dreaming about me with another girl. Yeah, about me with
Josh. Is that Josh?
Cause I got two girls in two different worlds, yeah. In two worlds, yeah. You're not gonna ignore me no more. You're not gonna ignore me no more. You're gonna fucking open up your doors. You got me in my fucking feelings. You got me dreaming, you got me crying, you got me squealing. You got me breaking my heart for no reason. Man, this is treason. Man, this is treason for no fucking reason. You said you love me, but now you fucking
did it, boys.
fiending
100 messages
for no reason. Girl, you're upset and you're mad and you're fiending for this love that you really, really dreaming. You say you just want space. You wanna do the race. You wanna be a hoe. You wanna go out today. You wanna pack. You wanna travel. You wanna live life because you're a saddle. Oh yeah, there's no reason for you to treason. There's no reason for you to be even. There's no reason. My name is not Steven. You don't got no reason. Girl, I know you fiending for no fucking reason. Yeah, you'll be fiending for my love for no motherfucking reason. Playing with my game like it's just someone to cheating. Like why you cheating? You got me bleeding. I got this feeling. She so bad, yeah, she dripping, she appealing. She broke my heart for no motherfucking reason. That girl is crazy, yeah, she feeling like a demon. She choking on my motherfucking semen. She broke up with me for no reason. I call that treason. I call that treason. You got me bleeding for no motherfucking reason. I call that treason. She got me dreaming in my head for no reason. This girl be dreaming about me with another girl from another world. Ay, from two different worlds, from two different hearts. She broke me apart, she broke me away. She took me into space, she took me out of my mind. She's so crazy, I thought that she was my dime. I thought she had all the motherfucking time.
Yeah, that was actually a lot better than I thought. Dude, you gotta rap on this one though. This is the one you have to rap on. I mean, it's a hard beat. It's just a hard fucking beat, bro. Dude, did you rap on baguettes? Dude, nobody in rap knows how to sample shit like this, bro. We barely know how to sample shit like this. Vibey. Vibey. There's so many beats in here, bro. Just wait on it. Just wait on it.
Evergreen's white population to take accountability for their active participation in unlearning racial prejudice in a way that staying on campus wouldn't. It kind of sounds like they want them to leave, but I'll keep going through emails. That was on page 6.
Jerry, it's only November. This Wawa Peppermint Bar Cream Smoothie says it's holiday time.
I guess I didn't need to do that, but it's quicker.
Voluntary.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
Okay, but I asked
dick on
earlier,
this
is it
track.
whether or not it's voluntary or forced? Is that your issue? Because if that, we can move on to that. If you agree that
No,
they
I'm
were
saying that
voluntarily
that sounds
asked-
like it's your issue, like that.
Yeah, I would always say, yeah, I would have the same, well, not the same, but I'd have a similar issue if it was voluntary or forced. The same that if there was a voluntary day where we encouraged like black people or Asian people not to go to school, I would have an issue with that.
Well, they weren't just not going to school, right? Like they were going off campus or whatever to complete this like 8-hour workshop and presentation about discussions of like race and racism on the campus.
Yeah, but even at that was a whole thing you had to like register for, and there wasn't enough room for everybody. Like, I mean, I don't even know how many people go to Evergreen, because I saw that in an earlier email. I think this one was from Rashida, where she said, at the same time, off campus at the Unitarian Universalist Church, we will host a full day program focusing on allyship and anti-racism work from a majority culture or white perspective. Due to the capacity limits of the space of 200 participants, we're asking those members of the Evergreen community who wish to attend to commit to the program in advance by completing the registration form. So even that didn't have enough room for everybody, but also that's still really cringe. Like, we're gonna go shepherd all the white people into some church off campus. So yikes.
No, but who is we? Who is we? Like who is shepherding anyone? Like if it's completely voluntary, if you literally have to go and register and make the voluntary choice as a student at Evergreen to go and participate in one exercise or the other, where again she says people are free to choose whichever space they're more comfortable with. Like who is forcing them? Like no one is being forced to attend like either event.
I hate this track. I hate this
Okay,
track.
but so then we're moving on. Then you agree that there was a voluntary ask for white people not to be at college, because then we can move on to if there's a difference between voluntary and like.
It says like white. It says like majority culture /
That's white. Majority culture is the progressive, nice way of saying of not sounding racist. So they say majority culture power, right? Majority power,
Listen,
majority power holder.
You think you can do
oppressive
better?
Party,
Fucking
upper,
Ustream
like
this
hierarchy
game,
class.
bro.
Like it all means white.
What was the concession, or what do you wanted me to say, or what?
Well, I'm saying if you agree that white people were being asked to leave, then we can move on to whether or not it's okay that they were asked versus forced. But I don't think there's
Like-
going to be much distinction
Like
there.
saying like asked to leave or whatever. Like you act like like it's they were like, all right, give me the email list of every single Anglo-Saxon or like Caucasian student, and now we're going to send and say that like you get specific instructions to go here at this time or whatever. When in reality it's just like a campus event that's being hosted.
It's not a campus event, it's a campus-wide thing. Also, I need a better engagement on this.
God
you can't just say, like,
damn.
oh, it's just an ask. Like, if half the white people don't go to school and the other half do, you're going to look really fucking bad
Being
doing it.
excluded from either event.
No,
It
but you're
defer-
going to
dude,
look, there's
depends on the
obviously a
day.
fuck ton of social pressure not to show up. If
there's
there's a
a
day of
days
absence
I
where
would
white
beat
people are being
US,
asked to stay
and
home and
there's
you
days I
go,
would
that's almost going to be
lose.
like a form of protest.
You're saying there's a social pressure on this campus to like participate in this program?
Yes.
Why? Who would be pressuring them? What is that pressure? Or like, where is it coming from?
Literally,
It's like, it would
wait,
be
hold on.
students,
Wait,
like,
literally, like
engaging in
Rashid.
this.
No, hold on. Stop. If they're literally putting out a statement encouraging people to do this, that's the social pressure. It's coming from the administration.
Ed, should I start playing
what is
Call of
Rashida's
Duty?
job? She's got an at Evergreen address. What is her
That's
formal
gonna be really
role?
fun if I play Call of Duty, bro.
She is the head of the program.
Okay.
And
so,
actually, she was fired from this.
good. She should have been. But like, so that's where part of the pressure is coming from then, right?
Why should she have been fired?
Because it sounds like the way that she handled it was probably pretty
Dude,
bad. I
Ez,
don't know
who
why they
has
fired
the
her.
fastest car in this? Like, which two give me the best car?
Wait, you already made the claim that you think she should be fired, even though you don't even know what the reason was for her dismissal.
Like, all these cars suck.
I think that she should have been fired for starting a social pressure to make white people not feel comfortable going to school for a day. Yeah. I don't know what she actually got fired for. Maybe she got fired for something different. But yeah, I think that alone is probably pretty stupid.
Yeah,
Which white students were made uncomfortable by
shared
this?
the video on my
like,
story.
I mean, as far as we know, only like Brett was voicing opposition to it, but like I didn't hear about any students saying that they were uncomfortable with it.
Is
Or
the
like I
bar-
don't have any
sure.
testimonies.
Let
of
me
students
just
uncomfortable
so
with it.
is the bar for social pressure now that if somebody doesn't say anything, it's okay?
No.
Okay.
It's not that.
So whatever you just said.
But
doesn't-
if you're making the claim that like students were made uncomfortable, like I was expecting that you would actually have some sort of like testimony or complaints from like the student body themselves saying like.
Okay, so
joining
then
along
here's
with
a
that I was
question.
uncomfortable
Well,
with
you
it.
can see this entire argument if I Google right now, Evergreen students uncomfortable white, and if I find any testimony from white students saying like, yeah, I kind of felt uncomfortable, are you going to say, okay, I'm wrong on the entire argument, and you're going to roll over everything?
No, well, like if you made the claim that if the concession that you're trying to extract was just that white students were made uncomfortable, and you already said that despite not having any testimony or of any student saying that they were made uncomfortable. Like why would you say that?
While we just
Like just very basic human interactions. The email is literally saying white people are participating in white supremacy and we're asking you to leave for a day to recognize that. My assumption would be if you're a college student, you show up instead when they're saying you're participating in white supremacy by doing so. Seems pretty obvious that your attempt is to make students uncomfortable. If you show up, you're probably gonna that's pretty obvious to me.
Go up to the first paragraph of the first email.
I'm not interested in the very if you only want to deal with the first email, then it looks really good for you because the first email is going to be in the most flowery, progressive, unchallenged language whatsoever. But when you go through some of these other emails, and you sent me 35 pages of them, and as I read through more and more, you start to get fleshed out more and you understand what's going on.
What's going on?
That they're asking white people not to be on campus for that day because they want to celebrate, I guess, blackness or a person of color or, shit on white supremacy or something.
Show this to me. It's like show to me like the language that you're reading from these emails, where you get
all right.
this
Third,
idea that
we
like,
got
white people
third.
being forced, pressured.
The
like charged
hold on,
language.
don't say forced, but they're being encouraged, right? There's social pressure there. When the school administration says like we want you to take a day off campus because you're encouraging white supremacy. Obviously, there's a social pressure there that if you're white to not go to school. It's like this is the most obvious thing in the world. If you want, here, we can watch this video if you want. People are linking stuff in chat now. The title of this video is Evergreen Student Campus Unsafe for White Students Who Want to Focus on Education. I guess we can listen to some student testimony if you want. But I don't think this is going to change your opinion because this argument is ridiculous. Obviously, people are going to be made to feel unsafe like this, right? Like if you show me, for instance, that there was a day of KKK Klansmen walking around on campus and somebody said, a bunch of people in white hoods walking around on campus probably made the black students feel uncomfortable. I'm not going to say like, show me testimony. I need written testimony of that. It's going to be pretty obvious. Like, yeah, of course, the president are probably going to make some black people feel uncomfortable. I don't need testimony to believe that. I would probably just believe that that's self-evident. But progressives should know this because you guys talk about social pressures and stuff all the
You said
time.
that they want white students to go off campus. No one said that.
What?
But nobody has said that they want white students to go off campus.
Of course they did. That was literally in the series of emails that you linked. There was a full day on page 6, the day of absence. On day of absence, you can choose how and where to participate. This year, we will have a full day on-campus educational and social program designed to address issues from the perspective of people of color. At the same time, off-campus, at the Unitarian Universalist Church, we will host a full-day program focusing on allyship and anti-racism work from a majority culture or white perspective.
Damn it!
So asking the white students to go off-campus while they do stuff with POC on campus.
Encouraging, but it says that everybody is allowed to attend either one as they see fit.
Okay, so social pressure doesn't exist. If you want to wipe that away, that's fine, but you're going to lose like every argument we come into, because this is like the most naive understanding of social pressure in the world. Like, if you're really going to say like, well, just because the school administration says if you come, you're kind of participating in white supremacy, and they're encouraging white students not to join, but I don't believe that makes for any social pressure. I'm going to erase every single other social pressure that you try to add in this conversation. Like, there's no such thing as systemic social pressures against colored people, or people of color. There's no such thing as systemic sexist pressure against women. Like, unless you can show me like actual bylaws or something, or actual like policy. But you're not going to say that. You're going to say, well, of course, that social pressure can exist in other ways. For instance, like the actual administration saying we're going to do a reverse day of absence, right? Like,
but are you considered to be campus administration when just one professor, or like the professors that are part of the organization that's putting on this, that's hosting this program or whatever, is outlining that this is the way that the program is designed?
How many people in the administration do you think supported this?
I'm not sure. How many would you think?
My guess is over 50%.
Because I don't know what this has to do with like a campus administration. Again, like it just sounds like it's a group on, it's a campus organization.
So let me lay all this out. I'm 99% sure that I'm right. But I feel like the argument is going to hinge on like, can you show me like a written statement proving this thing, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to for every single thing. But what it sounds like is traditionally this school participated in something called the Day of Absence. And it sounds like, from what I remember reading about this, what it was persons of color took a step off of campus to show people that like, oh, well, when minorities disappear from society, we're all kind of worse off for it. And it's to kind of make you appreciate that like, okay, well, persons of color like contribute in meaningful ways. And this is like a way to remind people of that. And it sounds like what this person as part of the school administrative staff wanted to do was, we're going to flip this and we're going to ask white people to leave campus. And so she had this idea. Most of the faculty and administration is probably on board with it if the school okayed her participating in the program. And then as that email went out, or as this program started to launch, there were certain people at the school, namely somebody like Brett Weinstein, and I think there were a couple others in the email chains that felt a little bit uncomfortable with it. And then those people got heavy social pressure from the student body and from other people in the administration, like this Rashida Love woman, who were saying that they're essentially racist or white supremacists.
That's the thing, Nickity. I didn't change it. It was always on 30 when I started the stream.
That's what it feels like to me. If you want, I can like spend a day like trying to put together testimony from like every single side of that. But if you want, you can try to put together like, what do you think on the opposite end? Like, how do you explain the like almost violent opposition to Brett Weinstein, or how do you explain like the testimony from students saying,
dude, I need to unlock the other
cups, like, what's your explanations for stuff like that?
But I got a place to unlock.
Well, to me, if you're looking at the correspondence, like in the context of like Brett's opposition to this event, where he's saying he would be like, quote, quite willing to organize an event with, quote, a public presentation discussion of race through a scientific / evolutionary lens. And especially given the poor record that evolutionary biology already has of treating contingent social phenomena as like genetically selected for, regardless of whether studies even replicate that assumption. In the context of a discussion, how people should be treated on campus, the role of different people, racism on campus, etc. You don't think that the statement without context is already provocative, to say the least, if that's what he's providing as an alternative to this?
You're giving me the statement without context. I can read the full email for you, and you can tell me if anything in here sounds like objectionable. Dear Rashida, when you first described the new structure for Day of Absence / Day of Presence at a past faculty meeting where no room was left for questions, I thought I must have misunderstood what you said. Later emails seemed to muddy the waters further while inviting commitments to participate. I now see from the bold-faced text in this email that I had indeed understood your words correctly. There is a huge difference between a group or coalition deciding to voluntarily absent themselves from a shared space in order to highlight their vital and underappreciated roles, the theme of the Douglas Turner Ward play Day of Absence, as well as the recent Women's Day walkout, and a group or coalition encouraging another group to go away. The first is a forceful call to consciousness, which is, of course, crippling to the logic of oppression. The second is a show of force and an act of oppression in and of itself. You may take this letter as a formal protest of this year's structure, and you may assume that I will be on campus on the Day of Absence. I would encourage others to put phenotype aside and reject this new formulation, whether they have registered for it already or not. On a college campus, one's right to speak or to be must never be based on
what a bitch! It threw me in here! sir.
public presentation and discussion of race through a scientific / evolutionary lens,
so
I would be quite willing to
garbage.
organize such an event. It is material that I have
That's
taught in my
so
own
dog
programs
shit.
and guest lectured on at Evergreen and elsewhere. Everyone would be equally welcome and encouraged to attend such a forum, irrespective of ethnicity, belief structure, native language, political leanings, or
Why
position
can't
at
I
the
use
college.
this?
My only requirement would be that people attend with an open mind and a willingness to act in good faith.
Why can't
If
I
there's
use the
interest in an event,
star?
please let me know at brett.weinstein@gmail.com. I don't see anything wrong with this email. He acknowledges why the first event existed. He states clearly why he's opposed to the second one.
Fuck
He
that.
offers to organize like lectures around the topic if they want. He doesn't say he's going to, and he just says he's going to be on the college campus himself and encourages other people to do so. This is like the most diplomatically written email ever. How could there possibly be massive opposition to this?
Hell yeah,
Because
I'm
the
clipping it.
exploration of race from an evolutionary biological perspective.
I got rocked.
Like,
dude.
What
got fucking
what is
rocked.
the concrete term for that?
There's
You don't
plenty
believe
of
race
ways to
realism?
discuss
Did I
in-group,
get a trophy,
out-group
though?
preferences through scientific
Yes,
and
I
evolutionary
did.
lenses. It's pretty important to our understanding of how humans like form bonds. So, for instance, from evolutionary psychology, we
Suck at
learn
this
things
game,
like people are less racist towards people that they are reared around, child rearing,
I'm about to
right? That if
switch
you
to
grow up with
FIFA.
people of a certain race in your eyesight, often you grow up with less hateful views towards them. That's a belief that comes from things like evolutionary psychology or psychology as a field in general. So that's like one scientific way to view structures of race that isn't oppressive.
All right.
Or if you've ever listened to, there's a guy called Robert Sapolsky. We listened to a bunch of his
think I'm gonna
lectures when I was
switch to
studying for race
FIFA,
realism and
bro.
stuff. He's given it. I think he
After
specializes
winning one
in.
more cup.
He gives at least some courses on evolutionary biology. I think he does neuroscience, but he does like all of his courses spoke about like race and in group, out group, and tribal
know,
stuff.
dude,
And all
I
of
know
that
it
through
has a drop
evolutionary
frames like a retard,
lenses.
'cause
But it's not
I'm
like
on
to
a
say that like,
laptop,
oh, we
bro.
studied this and here's that, therefore like it's evil. Black people are evil or whatever. Usually just making people aware of like why they have different types of beliefs and opinions
Last
about other
one,
people.
bro.
It's not like they were going to go study phrenology.
But I feel like the argument that you just made is like exactly what you said. You're like, he's being extremely diplomatic, like in the language that he's using. So if like the example that I pulled I used in the debate was like an offer to discuss phrenology in opposition to the event that Rashida Love's, I guess like campus club or
I almost
whatever,
hit
was holding. He's, instead of saying like phrenology, he says like, basically like the definition of phrenology, like the exploration of cranial skull shapes and
Wait,
the
hold
different
on.
modules and like how
Nothing
they
about
develop.
nothing about what he says has anything to do with phrenology.
No, I never said that it has to do with phrenology. I'm just drawing like a
But the problem is when you
counter-
say phrenology, it's like that's like bunk bullshit science. Are you saying that like race through a scientific or evolutionary lens is bunker bullshit science?
I'm sorry, can you hear what?
Or I don't understand the comparison to phrenology. Like phrenology is like literally, my understanding is like science invented to oppress people. Like I don't know if there was ever like good like arguments in favor of phrenology, maybe in its infancy. But are you comparing like the courses that he's offering or the lectures he's offering to like a bunker bullshit science? I don't understand that.
Well, the juxtaposition of evolutionary and science means, how do I state this? I guess like the phrenology example that I was trying to think is like, okay, so let's say that I'm a statistician or perhaps criminologist. And in my disagreement to a campus exercise during Black History Month, I say that I would be happy to talk about crime statistics related to Black Americans.
Sure.
In response to somebody doing this event during that. Like the fact that I'm already posing my talk in the context like of an opposition to an event that's highlighting the unrecognized contributions of Black Americans like during Black History Month. Like even though I am saying just very neutrally, I'm talking about Black crime statistics. Like, what do you think that might imply?
Well, when you say Black crime statistics, that's like a pretty pointed thing. But if somebody were to say, like, I can do
crime statistics related to
Yo,
Black
I'm
Americans.
down there
crimes,
soon, bro.
let's
We're all
say that
gonna
you're
run
a
it.
criminology professor.
We're all gonna
I'm sure
fucking
they
run
probably
it.
have more specialized disciplines. But you want to say, like, if you want on that day, I can give a lecture on like the
Dude,
intersectional effects
I'm
of
staying
society
at
on
Ezra's
Black
for
people
3
and crime
months.
or something like that. Or I can talk about like the criminal justice system and a Black person's experience with it. Or I can talk about policing and the criminal justice system and Black America. Like, I think that would be more comparable. Like discussion of race through a scientific / evolutionary lens doesn't.
I feel like it's exactly what Brett did.
No, but it's not. If you were to say something, for instance, if there was interest in a public presentation and discussion of racial differences in IQ through a scientific evolutionary lens, I'd be quite willing to, like, I could understand that a little bit more. It's like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. Like, but
yeah, IQ would be weird.
Yeah, but he's not doing that. It's just like nothing that's stated here on its face is wrong. Maybe implication if he was like a Nazi, maybe. But I mean, like, this is like a professor at the school for how many years, and he's already taught the material before. Apparently, he's even given classes on.
Yeah, he stated as much. He said, like, this is material that I've covered or whatever. And maybe, tell me what you think of, like, this interpretation of, like, the email correspondence. Because for all the beautiful, the things that our beautiful boy Brett is, I don't think he's stupid, at least not at this point. He wasn't shilling for ivermectin just yet. To me, I think it's a perfectly reasonable assumption that he's aware of the history and controversy surrounding, like, investigations into, like, race from an evolutionary biological perspective. And I strongly suspected that refusing to clarify that understanding was intended as kind of like a bait and switch for the purpose of, like, validating his authority, because he does say, come and listen to my talk. You might be pleasantly surprised. Please keep an open mind. To me, like, phrasing it as he did in the context of the opposition that he faced, he, to me, also implies a degree of support for racist pseudoscience that he doesn't hold, that he claims to not hold, but he was nevertheless willing to be understood to hold.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
No, just no, absolutely not. That is like the most, because that is the most unimaginable, uncharitable reading of a professor that's taught here for 15 years. Like, if I were to ask you for any kind of proof of this, you wouldn't be able to supply it at all. And he doesn't even say he's going to do the lecture. He just offers to, and even ends the
It's in opposition to an event concerned with discussing
it doesn't have to be.
systemic
No, it
racism.
doesn't have to be in opposition to it. It can be in accordance with it. That, like, that I want to do a discussion of race through the scientific evolution lens. I see you guys are, like, having this, like, day of absence, and it sounds like he supported previously the day of absence. I mean, he was here for 15 years. He didn't seem like he said anything about it before. So it seems like the switch of, like, asking white people to leave was very specifically the onus that pushed him to saying he disagreed with this.
The email absolutely was in opposition. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying that it wasn't like he was going to teach his class. There's no evidence that, like, the lecture that he was offering was going to be, like, in opposition to, like, people talking about white supremacy or something.
I know, like, 2 seconds earlier, you're like, yeah, he supports it when the black students go off campus, but not the white students, because he didn't take umbrage with the program in any years prior. I don't think this was the first year that they hosted it. You just said he'd been there for 15 years.
Can you explain the difference between the two? Because it's explained in the email, and I can explain it to you if you need me to. But those two things are very different.
In what way?
So I would say there is a huge difference between a group or coalition deciding to voluntarily absent themselves from a shared space, as opposed to a group or coalition encouraging another group to go away. Those were Brett's words. I agree with that. I think there is a difference. That if a whole bunch of black people or women, let's say a whole bunch of women
Say less.
in a
I'm
school,
gonna
like, we're
download
going
it.
to do
I'm
a
gonna
day of
get
absence where
Minecraft.
women
I'm
are going to
gonna
leave
do
for a moment to show you guys how important we are. I was like, okay, cool. Then let's say they come back and say, okay, next year, you guys have to leave. I'm like, okay, well, hold on. It feels a little bit different when you volunteer your group to leave versus telling another group they have to leave. I think that's
But simply proposing an off-campus workshop, at least to me, is not encouraging a group to go away. No group of students or people or race, as he framed it, were forced off in either case if it's an optional workshop.
You keep going back to that forced thing, but there was clearly social pressure. And if you want to say that it wasn't, then why wouldn't her response to Brett be like, oh, we're not forcing anybody to leave. If you want to stay, do your thing. And then boom, it would all be over.
But she does say that.
Are you sure?
Hold on. 35 emails trying to find where she says that it's completely voluntary. And page 3, second to last paragraph, the one above the one that's bolded. Because of the need for a dedicated space to explore issues of diversity within each of these two perspectives, each program has been designed with a specific community building objective in mind. And because many of us are mixed and may not wholly identify ourselves with one community or the other, we invite each person to attend the program of their choice, wherever they feel most comfortable.
No, this is a, come on. Wait, how are you mixed? Or are you both your parents? Come on. This is a give me to mixed race students. This isn't an outreach to white students. This is for people that might have like one white and one black or Hispanic or Asian parent. That's what this is clearly about. If you were a white person and you showed up to one of these POC workshops, they would not be happy with you being there, right? That's this. That's what this is, 100%.
Really making that assumption though that they wouldn't be happy.
Because of the phrasing of everything else in here, that they made an off-campus white thing because they're reversing the day of absence. Here's like the minutes of the meeting apparently when they were talking about this. If you control F white students,
useless. It's useless.
Emily says there is a proposal from the
My favorite thing to do. Hold on.
yeah, there is a proposal from DOA/DOP committee for white students to go off campus and students of color to remain on campus. This has been approved. This is to center the campus on
God.
students of color.
If I get in that Minecraft server, first thing I'm doing is trying to destroy your fucking house.
But I don't even need this to really say that. It's pretty obvious, like what the plan was. Like,
page was that on?
just control F white students. I think it's on page 2.
I'm switching to
I think
FIFA
they
after
didn't retrieve
this.
thing for me.
Excuse me.
It's
please.
Emily's comments right above the green box.
You said what page again?
Page 2. Someone in chat, let's see, Rashida.
I feel like you're conflating like what you were mentioning earlier, like this forced pressure, because obviously social pressure is a real phenomenon. I'm not going to argue
Holy
with
shit.
that.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
But when you say like,
yeah, real quick, before you do, because careful, because you're about to walk into. Wait, chill. Okay, hold on. So one, even what you're going to say, I'm going to disagree with it, okay? Because I think social pressure is real. I didn't actually even realize this, but now that you've got me digging into it more, I realize it's actually way worse than I thought. So Rashida Love has secured commitments from 15 to 17 faculty members to require that their students participate in the day of absence/day of participation, which brings the total to 400 students. The goal is to have 1,000 students participating in this event. Even without that, I don't think that's important because I think the social pressure is still real.
Damn it.
But now I'm finding out that Rashida Love actually got commitments from professors to require that white students didn't go to their class, which makes it even worse. But
can you link that? Can I see?
sorry, what? It's right above the Felix's comments on that same page. It starts with DOA/DOP is scheduled from the 12th to the 14th of April.
Page?
2. It was right above the other thing.
I still can't find it. I don't know why my search and find is not working.
Sorry, go to page 2 and look at the first comments by Felix.
Page 2. Oh wait, to a thing that you linked me.
Yeah. Oh, I linked you something. Oh yeah, if you linked
Oh,
me.
okay. I thought for a second you were talking about the other one.
No, sorry. Also, listen, I love
gotta
you. We can
catch up
talk
to
as much as you
Bowser.
want at a later time. I have to leave in like 10 minutes to go get Dan. Just giving you a heads up. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're good. You're good.
Okay. Let me know when you're on page 2 of this, and then look at what Felix is saying in the meeting.
Commitments. Like committing white students is what you were claiming, right?
Damn it!
No! It's halfway through this thing. It's Rashida Love has secured commitments.
Commitments from 15 to 17 faculty members require that their students participate in it.
I mean, I still got 4th. That wasn't honestly worth the hype, but...
Oh, I see what you mean.
It is what it is.
The goal is
Did
to
I
have
place?
1,000 students participating in this
I don't
event.
think I placed.
Yeah, but it's not just white students.
Well,
I did place.
Of course, but they're not asking the black students to leave.
Well, I know that is my point, Stephen.
But so
They're
this
not
is, but
asking
now this is, now we move from,
black students to leave.
but now we've moved from social pressure to like professors actually requiring their students to do it. Now it's even worse. But like, I don't even think I needed this to prove it. But now that I have this, now it even looks worse.
I came back on that one. I dropped and then I got back up to 4th.
Also,
securing commitments from 15 to 17 faculty members. That is different. Then isn't that just basically like making the claim that you've gotten like RSVPs for the event? Basically, like where's the evidence that Rashida like forced those 15 to 17 faculty members? They have to participate. It sounds like she invited all campus faculty to participate, and Felix is just saying that for sure she knows 15 to 17 faculty members.
Well, yeah, if she forced them, that would be even better. But like they've all apparently, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, they agreed to do it, but now they're requiring their students to participate in the day of absence or day of participation, which means if you're white, that means not being on campus.
Attend or commitments to give them credits as part of their courses if they attend.
No offense, but if I went to a college and they said they were going to give me credit as a white person for not going to school, I don't think I'd be very happy with that. And then if you read down, you can read Emily's comments below Felix's, where you can read that section, Max.
Why is it not turning on?
Emily's comments. Yeah, there's a proposal from the DOA/DOP committee for white students to go off campus and students of color to remain on campus. This has been approved. Right, but Emily's characterization of it is just that it's a crude characterization of an event that the way the organizer themselves outlined is a little bit more nuanced than just white students off campus, black students on campus.
What in the mother?
Well, that's exactly what it sounds like. The outline initially from Rashida was that there would be a special off-campus church for white people to go to. The only people, when they said how you identify blah blah blah, probably has to do with mixed race people. We can watch YouTube testimony if you want of white people that said they felt unsafe at the campus, and then somebody else has linked me a video of, I guess, them talking about it more if you want as well. But I feel kind of ridiculous providing evidence. It's pretty obvious, like, what's going on. Like, I feel like we're doing, like, extreme mental gymnastics to try to say, like, well, no, they were okay with white people being there. Like, I don't know how much harder I could prove this point. Like,
well, you're saying that you can find students who felt forced before you even had any testimony of students who actually contended that they did feel forced and pressured to attend this.
Yeah, because I am a progressive and I understand how social pressure works. I don't need to find testimony from them saying they felt forced. Much the same that, like, if a ton of, like, really strong guys were running around on campus, like, asking girls to go out and offering drinks or whatever, like, and somebody were to tell me, you know, is there data showing that any woman felt pressure there? I wouldn't need the data for that. So yeah, my understanding of social, like, progressivism says that there's probably going to be some pressure there, of course. Much the same that if you've got an official on campus organizing an event for white people to leave, and some professor even agreeing to make a requirement.
That's literally just like a non-zero amount of pressure, right? Like I'm saying, I'm not disagreeing that does exist, but like there's a difference between a non-zero amount versus it rising all the way to it. These students were forced. They felt forced, like
well,
gun to their head practically is the way you make it sound.
Weren't there people literally outside screaming at Brett? Didn't he? I could be wrong, but didn't he actually need security on campus to even leave?
Did he?
I thought that security literally came onto campus. And also, the students of the professors that agreed with Rashida Love's, those professors that agreed to throw their lot in with her literally said they required their students to participate.
All right, it's working now. It should be fucking working now.
We can find video. I've watched videos of the protests. It's pretty crazy if you want. Like, we can see, like, all the students standing in the circle, like, screaming at people. They were outside Brett's classroom screaming at him.
Brett Weinstein was, I think the school offered to provide security, and he literally sent security away.
Okay, he might have at one point, but I mean, like, we can find all the students standing outside his classroom, like, shouting at him. I mean, if you want.
Like, that's the other problem that I have with the way that he propagated this story is that
we're pivoting hardcore to a totally different topic now. Do you want to pivot and admit that you're wrong on this one? If you want, we can. But otherwise, you're about to pivot to a whole other area if you want.
What is the other area?
Whatever you were about to say, like, well, I'm mad about how he characterized blah, 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 blah. So right now we've established thus far is there were requirements from professors that talked to Rashida Love to make at least 400 students participate in the day of absence. And that day of absence was partially defined by white people not being on campus. Like, that's just like, there's no room for disagreement there, I don't think. Right?
I just disagree with you when you say that, like, white people are forced off campus, when again it's like to me it's a completely voluntary thing.
It says required. If a professor requires something of you,
no,
is
you're
that
required
voluntary?
to participate in the event, but you have the option to go to the white/majority culture event on off campus, or you can remain on campus with the minority students/black students.
If I go to an area where they say mixed race people are welcome here, and I show up, do you think I'm going to be welcome in that space? Especially if it's a conversation about white supremacy?
As a mixed student?
Yeah, because I think I'm technically mixed, I think. My mom is pretty Hispanic. Not super Hispanic, but pretty Hispanic. But I'm probably not going to be welcome there. They're probably going to say, hold on, dude, you're white. This was for, like, mixed race, half-breed, mulatto, whatever the fuck they call half black, half white, lighter-skinned black people. Like, that's who it was clearly aimed at. It's obvious that that's who it's clearly aimed at. I'm, like, shocked if you don't acknowledge that that's who it's clearly aimed at. Like, that's very obviously what's being said, right?
I mean, I feel like you're positing this caricature of students